One easy way to keep everything that you might need for a project or homework or, research group all in the same place is to create what is called a project. And that is essentially creating a folder that you can then dump your data, your script files, you can save files to it, and it really makes the reading in of your data a lot easier. So rather than having to use a file path, as long as that data is in your project folder, you can just reference it by name. So the way that you would create a project is to come over here. And so rather than creating a new script file, we're going to kind of click on this almost 3D cube thing and create a project. So we can click on that. No, I don't want to save my workspace image. We're good. And it will start considering its life options to create a new project. Note that you do have to open RStudio in order to get to that icon to create your new project. You can't just create it beforehand. And so you are going to most likely use one of these two options. I typically start it in a new directory. That's basically saying, I just want you to make a new folder somewhere on my computer where I tell you to do it, and then I'll put everything I want into that folder. And so if we select this, it gives you a whole bunch of project types. Just pick new project because most of these are probably not going to be applicable to what you're doing. Later on, if you wanted to explore these, by all means, feel free. But we'll select a new project, and then we get to say where do we want to put it, what do we want it to be called. So maybe we'll say research group 2025 could be our our folder name, and then you would select through here where exactly on your computer you want the folder to live. It could be your desktop, it could be however your file structure is organized. And then we would click Create Project. So once it pulls up finally, you'll see this. And you'll notice that you only have 3 windows rather than the 4. And you'll see this thing called Research Group in your Files tab. So normally when R opens, the tab that we see is Plots. But when you have a project, then you see your files here. In order to add a new script, you're just going to click over here, add a new script, and then you would start working. And when you saved it, you would see that script pop up over here. So, maybe we will save it as our script file. And then now you see over here, this is your script file. If you had data in here, all you would have to do to call in your data is, let's say it's an Excel file. We're going to be creative and call it data.xlsx. So you only have to refer to it by the file name rather than the whole entire file path. But again, it has to be actually in this folder. So you would see a line here that would say, data.xlsx and however big it is and whenever it was last modified. And you can just read it in directly like that rather than chasing down the file path.